Hello students, so within plant kingdom we have completed with the division Algae and division Bryophyta, and now we are going to start with division Pteridophyta. Division Pteridophyta. The members of this division are called as pteridophytes and they are of two types, ferns and horsetails. Called pteridophytes, and they include two types of plants, ferns and horsetails. Ferns are so commonly seen around in moist, damp, shady places. You will see them growing on old walls of old wells, etc. In our childhood, we used to pluck the leaves in this manner and we used to blow them on the others. They are called ferns. There are other members also called as the horsetails, wherein they have cone-like structure which appears like a horse's tail. Ferns usually bear such leaflet-like structures. How are they different from the bryophytes? Is that they are more evolved than the bryophytes. In the mosses, which are the more advanced bryophytes, the sporophyte had considerably become larger in size, if you remember. However, it was still dependent on the gametophyte. It was partially dependent. In the pteridophytes, the sporophyte has been able to completely get off from the gametophyte and live an independent life. And it has become green, proper green and photosynthetic. A 2N structure, the sporophyte. So in the pteridophytes, both the sporophyte as well as the gametophyte are independent. In bryophytes, the sporophyte was dependent on the gametophyte. The gametophyte was independent. In fact, the main plant body of ferns is the sporophyte and not the gametophyte. What you say this is a fern is actually its sporophyte. Where is the gametophyte in this case? The gametophytes are very, very small and reduced in size. Unlike the algae and the bryophytes, in which the gametophytes were large size and very conspicuous, in case of the pteridophytes, the gametophytes are very inconspicuous size, even though they are independent. Where are they found? They are found in cool, damp, shady places, just like the bryophytes. These are terrestrial plants. However, they still require moist and wet conditions because they also depend on water for their sexual reproduction. They are also sometimes referred to as vascular amphibians. They are the first vascular plants. They will have xylem and phloem inside them. First tracheophytes they are called as. They are also called as vascular amphibians or vascular cryptogams. Also called as vascular cryptogams. They are also called as botanical snakes. They are the first tracheophytes. Xylem and phloem first developed in them. Primitive types of xylem and phloem cells started developing. Now the advanced type which are found in the angiosperms, we will see. They started gaining height, and the sporophyte, which was the main plant body, could attain considerable heights because of the xylem and phloem which could absorb a lot of water for them and could spread throughout. So they could attain a lot of height. They could spread out their roots also because the roots primarily have xylem and phloem inside it. Could attain height up to small trees. Main plant body is the sporophyte, which is a 2N structure, and this one is independent, fully photosynthetic, green and conspicuous. Conspicuous matlab large. The gametophyte, which is the N structure formed after germination of spores, this one is also independent, green, photosynthetic. However, it is inconspicuous and it is specifically called as prothallus in this case. We will have a look at it when we are doing the life cycle of ferns. Found in moist, shady, damp places. They also require water for fertilization, which is a trait which is similar to bryophytes. Therefore, they are also called as vascular amphibians. This is the sporophyte, which is a 2N structure, and since it is a 2N structure, what you see over here as the leaves are actually true leaves. What you see over here is this is a true stem. There will be roots which will be 2N as well, true roots and true leaves. The sporophyte has true leaves, true roots and true stems, since this entire structure is a 2N structure. Some common examples of pteridophytes include Dryopteris. This is the most popular one. We will be doing the life cycle of Dryopteris to understand pteridophytes better. Then there is Pteris. There is one called Selaginella, which are ferns. Then there is Azolla, a water fern. There is one called Salvinia, which is also a water fern. An example of a horsetail include example you can cite Equisetum. Diagrams of Equisetum, Bryopteris, Selaginella are there in NCERT. Please have a look at them. Under division Pteridophyta, there are 4 different classes. Coelopsida, then there is one called Lycopsida, Sphenopsida, Pteropsida. Coelopsida is said to be the oldest class. Living members include members like Coelotum, which can be considered as living fossils. Next class is Lycopsida. These include examples like Selaginella. Then there's one called Lycopodium, also called as club moss. Then there is Sphenopsida. Example, Equisetum, which is also called as scouring brush. Scouring means washing utensils. Most of the ferns belong to class Pteropsida, and they include examples like Bryopteris, Pteris Odiantum, which is also called as the walking fern, and also called as the maiden hair fern. This one is quite popular. Bryopteris is also very popular. Equisetum, Selaginella, these are popular. These are important examples. Odiantum is so called because it is known for its vegetative propagation through leaves, wherein the leaf tips touch the ground. From there, yet another plant is born. So as a result, it will curve towards the ground. It will appear like it is walking. That is the reason. Walking fern. So these are the 4 classes of division Pteridophyta. Now we will be studying pteridophytes in more detail by considering the life cycle of a common fern, that is Bryopteris.
महादेव के नाम पे सब्सक्राइब कर दें।